Yo, what is up, guys? It is a man in the can. It is Super Pigman here today with another video, and today we're going to be talking about some more Kenshi. But today is more of a theory video, and I'm really hoping you guys will like it. But without further ado, let's get into it. But before we actually do get into it, remember, Discord link in the description below if you want to talk about Kenshi lore, Kenshi stuff, Kenshi anything. Just, join up the Discord and we can make some love talk about Kenshi or something. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So, I was pondering about this idea because I seen it come up in one of my comments, and it is, could the Shek be natives? Now, I do want to explore this theory plausibility because, it does make sense, when you start to connect all the pieces in a different way, that the Shek could be natives of the place. And, when you connect it in a certain way, it kind of makes you think like, maybe this is the right way that it should be done. Or like, maybe this is the right way, that it is. And, let me explain the first theory that we have. Because, lore and Kenshi ain't never really set in stone because we don't know what's true and what's fake. But let's talk about this one first. So it is believed by most of the community that the Shek actually used to work for the Second Empire as enforcers to keep the humans in line, that they were genetically modified humans to be loyal to, the skeletons, and that way the skeletons wouldn't have to waste their numbers, their limited numbers in fact, on, keeping us down. And that is that's pretty much the theory. They think that the Shek were genetically modified and that the Shek or this and that, and they kept us down, and that's why Shek and humans don't really like each other, and that's why the Shek culture is how it is, and that's why the Shek are constantly at war with everybody because they're trying to fight for the old empire, which in fact could be true because there is evidence that says it could be true. But let me pose the opposite question: what if these people are natives to Kenshi? Now let me explain it. So in the comments said, that they could be natives because of the way they look like all the native life. And now if you look at the native life, mostly everything, including, big things and the skimmers and the skin spiders and, just every type of animal in Kenshi, with I think the exception of the goat and of, just the goat pretty much, is that the Shek kind of resemble a whole lot like the native life here. And when you really start to look at it, then they really do seem like natives of this land. You could also say the same thing about the Hive, but the Hive are kind of just weird, in a sense, that, they just don't fit that type of puzzle piece. But the Shek really do, fit it in a correct position, because when you look at it from when, you just look at you look at a skin spider, then you look at a Shek. Shek are really, really bony for some reason. We literally do not know. We think they've been genetically modified, but we don't know. And we come to the conclusion that they have because how different they look to humans. And what we aren't drawing is maybe these Shek are really natives, because you look at how a skin spider looks, you look at a Shek. They look kind of similar because they're both bony in structure, and they both pretty much just look the same. And maybe that isn't the most plausible theory, but you can't deny that a lot of animals in you only have Earth to describe, but a lot of animals do kind of fit in together. We look like apes, we not in a racist term, but apes look like chimpanzees, monkeys look like chimps. So there's a bunch of things that make them look together, and that's why I'm thinking the Shek could be the natives of this land. The Hive and Scorchlanders could be a different discussion, though. And the other thing that separates it is that it seems like there was way more of them back then, and that they've been killing themselves off by constant war. And the fact that they don't procreate like humans do is kind of something else that kind of, makes it weird, because when you look at it really closely, skin spiders and stuff like that, they don't really procreate in huge numbers. Now, give or take, the Bugmaster is an anomaly, But you know, big things like all those, they don't procreate in big numbers. They're in small tribes. And you look at the way that the Shek live, they're also in small tribes. They don't pretty much look like you know, like they don't live in huge communities. So there must have been something that caused, you know, the Shek population to die, because I don't think just, you know, war would have done it, because that would have been a lot. Like, I'm talking over millions of casualties, because it made it seem like there was a lot of fucking Shek around. Like, excuse my language, but there was a lot of them around, and that, you know, like, there was just too much of them, and they just started dying. Now, this could be due to them not having enough food to feed a growing population, which is usually found. And, you know, they don't really take up the farmer life. If you notice that they're more programmed to fight. And, you know, when you think about it, why would they be so hostile to 3 factions? Think about it. The Hive, the United Cities, and also the, what do you call it? The, Holy Nation. And then you can also add in the skeletons, but you know, they're kind of long and gone. Like, why would they be so hostile to them if they weren't natives, if they didn't have something to protect? Like, why would I be mad at like people that live next to me, but if people started invading my area and started like coming in from all directions, then I would be mad, because, you know, like, I have something to protect. This is my land. You know, like, you can't just like come in here and take all this land and not expect me to, like, you know, fight you back. And that's really the truth of it, is that thing is what really sells me to believe that these guys might be natives, because there's no reason they should be hostile to everybody. Even though they have a fighting sense, they shouldn't be this hostile to every single faction. The only reason they're not hostile anymore is because their current leader is keeping them out of all this. Like, she's trying to like push them towards a different path, and I think that's the first like step of, like, you know, recreation of what we could see of, you know, the Shek population. And you know, that's really my theory on why the Shek, you know, like, why they aren't what you should say genetically modified by the Second Empire to be enforcers of the Empire. Because, you know, it is a good theory, but, you know, there's always like 2 main theories, and I think this might be the second main theory. But hopefully you guys do enjoy. Remember, leave a like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff on our road to 1K. Let's get there. Peace.